Let's take a look at example number 3. 13 is 26% of what number? In this problem, we're again going to use our percent equation. Part, which is found by the word is equal to percent times the whole, where whole can be found by the word of. In this problem, we can see that 26 is going to be our percent. Where the word of is, there is nothing after it, which indicates that we're going to be missing the whole. So we're going to need to use our variable for that. The number 13 comes before the word is. So we have our part. So we can now fill in our equation. 13 is equal to our percent. But remember, I have to turn our percent into a decimal by moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. It's like dividing it by 100. And I get 0.26, and then I don't have the whole, so we're going to use the variable w to represent it. How am I going to get w by itself? Well, just like on the previous problems, because 0.26 is being multiplied by w, I'm going to get rid of that by doing the opposite, which is to divide by 0.26. (0.26) divided by 0.26, that's going to equal 1. So I'm going to end up with the variable w all by itself on the right. And then I've got 13 divided by 26 hundredths. So 13 divided by 0.26, 26 hundredths, equals 50. So our whole in this problem is 50. Notice I do not include a percent sign. Notice I do not need to move a decimal point on this problem. So in examples, letter problems G and H, it is going to be the whole that is missing in our problems. I would also like to point out that in letter H, the is not at the beginning of the statement, it's at the end of the statement, and there is only one number that comes after it. So in this statement, the is, or the part, is 45. 26 is the percent, and we are missing of what number. So like I said earlier in the video, the whole always comes after the word of. So since the word what is after the word of, that is the thing that is missing. The percent always comes before the percent sign or the word percent, but the part can sometimes come before is, or in this case, it is coming after the word is. So the part is the one that can be on either side. So let's go and look at our word problem example. It says a survey found that 25% of people aged 18 to 24 gave up their home phone and only use a cell phone. If 3,264 people only use a cell phone, how many people were surveyed? So it's always a good idea to first look and ask what the question is. It wants to know here how many people were surveyed. So we're looking for the number of people surveyed. It says in that survey, 25% of people aged 18 to 24 gave up their home phones and only use a cell phone. It says 3,264 people only use a cell phone. If we're going to use our percent equation, part equals percent times the whole, I might not be able to use the is and the of method with a word problem. because sometimes those words just don't appear. For example, if you look in this word problem, you're not going to find the word is. If we don't find the word is, we're going to have trouble finding the part. So we're going to have to actually think about this a little bit differently. What is the one thing that we know for sure out of those three pieces that we have? We have the percent because we have a percent sign. So I can definitely come down here and say, okay, 25 is my percent. So I'm going to use 0.25. So the real question is, do I have the part or do I have the whole? Well, it says 25% of people aged 18 to 24. Now, of does appear here. That means the thing afterwards probably is representing my whole. But it says people aged 18 to 24. It doesn't say how many people. It just says their age range. Guess what? Yeah, people aged 18 to 24 is going to be my whole, but it's not the numbers 18 to 24. We don't actually know how many people they asked. And if you look down here, that was the question. So guess what? That's going to be my variable. That's going to be the thing that I'm looking for. We want to know how many people they surveyed. So it is the whole, which means 3,264 people who only use a cell phone. This specific group, this part of those people that are aged 18 to 24 that only use a cell phone, that's got to be my part. So 3,264 will go on the left. So now I can solve my equation by dividing on both sides by the number being multiplied by the variable. That's 25 hundredths. 25 hundredths divided by 25 hundredths would cross out because it equals 1, leaving me with the variable w. And then 3,264 divided by 25. 3,264 divided by 0.25. And I end up with 13,056. And I have to ask myself, 13,056. What am I answering? It says, how many people were surveyed? Oh, so they surveyed 13,056 people. And of the 13,056 people aged 18 to 24, 3,264 of them use a cell phone. Well, that brings us to the end of our examples. So go back and do those letter problems, and we'll get together in class and go over them.